I just got home from work, so you have to excuse the slightly formal attire. I'm Dan, for those of you who don't know me, and this is Socrates, my cat. Anyway, she's just here for the fun of it. Anyway, I want to talk about, I read an article today in the newspaper, Charlie Brooker. I've put him somewhere else on my blog. I've said he's great, because he is. He's writes in The Guardian G2 every Monday, and he's also got a blog on the Guardian website if you want to look at it. Very funny guy. He runs a BBC 4 programme as well, called Screenwipe. Anyway, today, and he's giving up cigarettes in the article, and he's talking about going cold turkey. And then he goes on to talk about how he never really feels control of his own actions, and sort of always feels that there's some other guy. And he talks about a piece another guy did about morning guy and night guy, and how night guy always stays up too late and drinks too many drinks and goes headlong into sexual relations he shouldn't, and all this sort of thing. And then it's unfair on morning guy, because morning guy has to deal with it and have a hangover and being worked by it. And it's very clever. And he talks about like procrastination guy and smoking guy and all these different guys that he has in his head that are constantly driving him to do different things, and he sort of he always has to deal with them differently. And it's quite interesting. It's very similar to what Freud says about. One of the only things I agree with Freud about is he refers to the id, the ego, and the superego. You can't see that. Id, ego, superego. Not that makes any difference to me doing this, but anyway. And the id is kind of the caveman in us all, the bit, the sort of the sex, food, cakes, muffins sort of bit in us, that sort of desire bit. And then the superego is kind of what we want out of life, kind of our dreams, aspirations, who we want to be. And then the ego is kind of the bit in the middle, the mediator between the two. And just to give an example, it's like when you go to the supermarket and you're not sure whether to spend the extra £5 you've got on like more food or beers, and the beers would be the ego, and the id, and then the more food, the sensual thing would be the superego, I suppose, maybe. Anyway, and that's very interesting, one of the big few things, and that's kind of similar to what he was saying, is that there's lots of different things that govern you at any one time. And he says there's no real sense of me, because there's this smoking guy, and there's some of my favourite, which is an erection guy, which is hilarious. So now has to deal with the consequences only, just will try everything to maintain his demands, which is quite funny. But I don't know whether I'm quite like that. I tend to get a sense of control. I tend to find, instead of night guy or morning guy or procrastination guy or whatever, I have rational me and non-rational me. Not in a schizophrenic sense, is that when majority of the time I'm rational, I think things through, and even if I make bad decisions, there's always a process which I get there. But then there's the non-rational me, which kind of just does what I want, and sort of has to deal with the consequences afterwards. Or rational guy. It's kind of, I suppose, kind of like morning guy and night guy, but not that defined, more just rational me yet unrational me. And so bit of insight into me. This is like 4 minutes long, so I don't know, maybe I can talk more. Ooh, I'm going to do a book review soon. Either of Harry Potter book, which I imagine there's hundreds of books really out there, which I'm reading at the moment, or Alistair Campbell's Diaries. Which I think I'm probably going to do Alistair Campbell's Diaries, because a lot of people can do the Harry Potter review a lot better than me. So I'll probably do Alistair Campbell's Diaries, which is a really good book, and I'm reading at the moment. It's great. Alistair Campbell was the press secretary of Tony Blair, for those of you, I imagine most of you know who he is, but anyway. And I'm also going to do a post about Death Note, because I haven't watched the last 7 episodes of it yet. So I'm going to watch them and post as I watch. Well, write the blog as I watch. So that hopefully will be rather interesting. So, yes. Look up, I imagine, because I imagine that this will all be posted at the same time, so look up the page and see that. Okay, bye.